My name is Celine Azar, and I would like to start my speech by saying that we are who we are, we eat what we eat, and we value what we value based on our upbringings. The effects of family culture on family foundation says that when families establish foundations, they bring with them the behavior that have governed the family culture, which is really important. First, I'm going to talk about a few things that shape who I am as a person. Then, I'm going to give you some insight about my family background. And lastly, I'm going to talk about what I find interesting or important regarding the topic of family communication. First off, I would like to introduce a few things that shape who I am. I was born in Corona but raised in Montclair, California. Growing up, we moved around in a bit, but we ended up settling in a gated community called Carousel in a 2-story home. Arabic was my first language and English happened to be my second. I'm 21 years old and I'm also a Sagittarius. I moved out right when I turned 18 and in with my boyfriend, Damon Gregory, who is a chef at Fleming's. I am a senior at Cal Poly and my last semester will be in the spring if everything goes as planned. Before the coronavirus happened, I was working towards becoming an international event/wedding planner. And I started collaborating with my mom because she is a pastry chef and caterer. So we help each other plan weddings as well as church events. And now I'm working on adjusting my goals and also my career. During my free time, I educate myself with documentaries about prisons and jails around the world. And one day I hope to take innocent people off of death row. However, Kim Kardashian did beat me to it. Now that I have given you some background information about myself, I'm going to provide you with some information about my family background. Secondly, I come from a big, welcoming, religious family of 5. I have 2 sisters named Stephanie and Sibel. Stephanie is 20 years old and Sibel is 24 years old. My mother's name is Diana and my father's name is Celine Azar, and they have an age gap of 15 years. In my culture, we all arrive fashionably late to all events. One important tradition that we have is a dance that takes place during weddings and other important occasions, which is called debke. And of course, we can't forget about the belly dancers who show up to entertain the guests and the hookah. The dance combines circle dance with the line forming from the right side all the way to the left. My parents were born in Lebanon, which is a third world country, but migrated to the U.S. because of the ongoing war and to give my sisters and I a better life with opportunities that were not available in Lebanon. My parents tried 3 times for a boy, but ended up with 3 girls instead. So we had to get a male dog that I named Fifi. In my culture, the firstborn child, which was Sibel, will take after his or her dad's name as a middle name, which is why her middle name is Tony. I would like to note that I am closer to my mom's side of the family because we see them almost every day, and because my mom's sister Desiree is my godmother. My dad's side of the family lives in Lebanon and in Canada, so we don't really see them very much. In my culture, we greet one another by kissing each other 3 times on the cheek instead of shaking hands. Now that I have given you a description of my family background and extended family, I'm going to provide you with some information that I find interesting and important when it comes to the topic of why studying family communication matters. Thirdly, Chapter 1 mentions that it's useful to understand cultures beyond your own, because in doing so, it will increase in cultural understanding and facilitate communication. I'm interested in learning about the different encounters between people of different cultures. Studying family communication matters because it's important to be able to understand how your experiences have shaped you as a person. In my case, I want to be able to understand my parents because sometimes we struggle with communicating and seeing eye to eye on things due to the fact that they weren't born here. Today, I explained 3 important points, which were a few things who shaped who I am as a person. I gave you some insight about my family background, and lastly, I talked about why family communication matters to me. In conclusion, in our lifetimes, we should never stop learning, but most importantly, we should never stop learning about different cultures.